this short video, we're going to look at how to connect to a display that has a DMP-4060 player inside of it. We'll look at how to set a test pattern on the display for testing and how to set a static IP address on that player for connection with a customer's network. This first utility that I've got open here is called Daktronics Display Finder, and it's just a simple utility that allows me to easily make that initial connection with a display and then have a further connection to the configuration utility. The first step in making that connection is to select the adapter that you're connected with from your computer to the display. So I'm going to select my LAN connection and then simply click Find Displays. Daktronics Display Finder will begin going out and discovering any displays or players that I have connected to my computer, or at least that are on the same network. In the name field here, this will be a default setting from manufacturing once that player is configured. This one has been changed for training reasons. Shows the dimensions of the display, the default DHCP name, and the IP address being assigned to it by the network at the present. Now, it is important to note that these displays do ship DHCP by default, but they can be changed over to a static IP address if the customer wishes. To access the configuration utility, simply click any of the pieces of information, which is a hyperlink into the utility. This will open up your web browser. You do not need internet access to access the configuration utility, just a web browser. Now go ahead and enter the password for this player. They do not ship with a default password on them, but once you've connected with Venus 1500, a password will need to be assigned at that point. When you open up the configuration utility, if you receive a file system check warning, just hit OK. And here we're at the home screen of the configuration utility. This home screen is where we can set a test pattern on the display, and we can even monitor the output of what the controller is rendering out to the modules. To set a test pattern, select the display mode drop down, select test pattern. Now under the test pattern drop down, select whichever test pattern that you would like to run on the display. Now the display should be showing test patterns, and in this example it'll be cycling through all the different styles of test patterns. If you wanted to see the controller was rendering that content out correctly, click on the monitor drop down and click output. And here we can see what the controller is sending to the modules and what should be showing on the display. It's important to note that this isn't necessarily what will be showing. So we can tell by this that the controller is rendering out the data correctly to the display. The monitor does have a time limit. I'll go ahead and switch this back to none. Whenever you're done testing the display, as far as test patterns are concerned, you'll want to make sure you stop those test patterns. So set test patterns back to none, and select the display mode back to player. Now we'll look at how to set an IP address to get the display compatible with the customer's network, or if they wanted a static IP address set. To do this, click on the Configuration tab at the top, and then click Use the following IP address. And here you can enter in the IP information that the customer has provided with you to make it compatible with their network. Once you've entered that information in, click the button in the bottom left that says Send Configuration. This would send that static IP address to the player and again allow that connection to the network. Once you've done all your testing and configuration settings, simply click the red X to log out of the utility.